Hey, gang. Welcome to Camiguin, a fantastic island in the Philippines archipelago. An island full of natural beauty and not yet overcrowded with tourists. To access Camiguin Island, you could come on a flight, they have an airport, but we arrived on a ferry from Jagna in Bohol. The ferry ride is about 4 hours. When you arrive on the island, they'll make you fill up a form. That has to be done on your smartphone, so make sure you have phone battery when you get there. It's a COVID form apparently, but it is January 2024 at the time of filming. And they'll ask you personal questions like, are you single? Why do you need to know? And at the end you get a QR code. But they didn't tell me I was supposed to download it. The best way to go around the island is to rent a scooter or any type of motorcycle. The minute you are out of the ferry, people would come to you and approach you to rent you a scooter. Bear in mind, those guys are not letting agent, they're trying to rent you their own scooters. We even found one that was registered as a scooter rental on Google Maps. And when we got there, it was somebody's home. He only had one scooter to rent. The main issue with Camiguin is the weather, as you can see. Because it is a volcanic island, sometimes the mountain attracts the clouds. On some of the beaches, the sand is black, again, because of the volcano. One of the most popular sites here in Camiguin, it is the sunken cemetery. In the 1870s, after a volcanic eruption, the cemetery and the town it served was sunk under the sea. It is a bit eerie, and some say haunted. I was alone there at some point, and I swear this dog was playing with an imaginary friend. Or was it just a ghost? What do the dogs see that I don't see? Do not expect to see any amazing graves or headstones when you go snorkeling underwater. There's not much there to see. This place here is known as the Blue Lagoon. Don't ask me why, it's not exactly a lagoon to me, but it's quite nice for snorkeling. Not the best weather. When we got there, we had 2 days of flood alert. It was raining almost non-stop for 2 days. This is a soda water swimming pool. There is an entrance fee, I think it's about 200 pesos, and you can swim in soda water. It's quite cool. It's not sparkling like the soda you'd buy at the supermarket, but you can feel little bubble, especially when you move. It's naturally happening, apparently, due to the volcano. And it has some health benefits. You can also drink it. They have a water tap with soda water. Now you can see that they have a lot of rain and a lot of floods and tsunamis because you keep seeing those signs everywhere. You also have a couple of beautiful waterfalls. This is Katibuasan waterfall. The entrance fee is 75 pesos plus the eco tax. Do not be surprised, all across the Philippines, pretty much any natural beauty spot, you'll have to pay a bit of eco tax. It is not much at all. Well, I suppose it does add up at the end of your trip, but it's usually just a few cents. You can also swim in both of the waterfalls. We didn't because we were so soaked and cold already, motorcycling under the rain for hours. If you are choosing a destination in the Philippines, to be honest, Camiguin is a bit risky because you could have days of bad weather. Some of the plants are beautiful. And those coconuts are germinating. You can see the little sprouts. That's cool. Here are the second waterfalls, Tuasan Falls. The island is not small, but it's not very touristy, so we kept running into the same people everywhere. We had met a few people on the ferry and in our hotel, and then we kept running into them all over the island. Camiguin, like most of the Philippines, is of course very Catholic, thanks to the Spanish that invaded here. They have a series of life-size sculptures remembering the 12 stations of the cross. It's a bit of a hike though, because they've been placed on a hill. Being in Mindanao, there's also a Muslim community here. Now, let's talk about food. Pretty much anywhere in the Philippines, when you spot those little metal pots outside, Even if it is like somebody's home, it is a little eatery. So you can open the pot to see what it's like, and they'll serve you little portions. If you are a vegan, it can be a little bit tricky, because sometimes it might look like vegetables, and they'll tell you, yeah, it's vegetables, and then you start eating and you find a big piece of lard inside. The ketchup is quite original. It is banana ketchup. The great thing about those little eateries is that you can have little portions of everything. They're really affordable. The street food is great as well. This is some kind of a rice sweet with honey. And those are fishes that have been impaled and grilled. You'll find everything in tiny little portions, like snacks or shampoo. If, like me, you are a backpacker and you are on a hand luggage, you do not need to bring much shampoo or anything like that. You'll find everything in tiny little quantities. Well, having said that, one thing you might want to take with you is contact lens solution. It can be a little bit difficult to find. This is the little departure port to go towards the White Island. The boats are about 600 pesos for 4 people. So if it is only 2 of you and you wanted to save some money, you can actually pair up with another couple. Bear in mind you'll have to agree with the other couple to come back from the island at the same time. It is maximum 3 hours on the island anyway, and it's more than enough to be honest. The White Island is basically a strip of white sand. That's it. Beautiful though. It is paradise for Instagrammers. Most people come here just to fly their drones and get some nice images. It is also described as a snorkeling spot. There's nothing to see underwater. I love those little seashells. If you wanted to collect some shells to bring them home, be careful. Some of them are illegal. You can download a list from the internet of the shells you're not allowed to bring home. Those little ones are known as cowries. In France, we call them grains de café, coffee beans, because it looks like a coffee bean to us. But in China, they think it looks like something else, like a vagina. So they are a symbol of fertility. In China, those little shells were used to trade before the coins as money. So much so that they had started to do some fake ones, counterfeit. Archaeologists were a bit surprised when they first found them. Anyway, some of those cowries shells are not meant to be brought back, so be careful. This is the natural hot springs. The rocks surrounding the water are apparently warmed up by the volcano. They are open to the public, also in the evening. It's really nice after dark. We are now on the south of the island. This is known as the Moro Tower. You do not see a lot of old buildings on the island because of the volcano and all its eruptions. It had 4 major eruptions in modern history. In 1951, 3,000 people lost their lives. Anyway, in Spanish times, they would climb up the little tower here to look at the view to check for any Moro pirates. Those Muslim pirates used to attack and steal some of the goods. The south of Camiguin is facing mainland Mindanao. Mindanao still has a large Muslim community today. Look at the way they're drying their laundry. This road safety barrier has come in handy. To be fair, with the humidity here, to dry your laundry you better use every little bit of sun. This is known as the Clam Sanctuary. It was officially closed at the time of visiting, but hopefully should be reopening soon. Apparently they have those giant clams underwater. And in the distance behind the sea you see mainland Mindanao. Now, Camiguin is still fairly quiet as an island. I believe it is because technically it is in northern Mindanao. Now, most European foreign travel authorities, like in the UK, the FCDO, they absolutely do not recommend visiting Mindanao because of some terrorist activities in the past. But Camiguin is separate from Mindanao. And even Mindanao, I think it's almost safe nowadays. Still in the south of the island, this is the Taguines Lagoon. There are some fancy restaurants on the lagoon with a beautiful view. Amazing food, apparently. I don't know, we just had a coffee. Next to the lagoon, you've got the mini port to go towards Camiguin Island. Again, it's 650 pesos for a boat, but you can share with strangers if you want, to save money. Camiguin Island is beautiful. It's a little paradise. Beautiful white sandy beaches, and you can also snorkel around the island. Although the snorkeling is not great, to be honest. There are no corals or anything around the island. Now, the minute Camiguin Island closes and everyone jumps back on their boat, see those little workers? They were digging massive holes, like if they wanted to bury a body. So I had to ask. They were actually burying the algae. That's why the white sand is so white, you do not have any algae on the beach. I'm not convinced it is ideal for the local fauna and flora, though. On the way back towards Mombajao, the capital, we spotted Disco. The animal lives in a cemetery. This is not a classic Filipino cemetery. It is the Camiguin Chinese cemetery. Apparently there's a big Chinese community here. Now back to the sunken cemetery for sunset. It is the best place to watch sunset on the island. And it reminds you that Camiguin is born out of fire. Without the volcano Mount Ibok, the island wouldn't be there. It is part of what is called the Pacific Ring of Fire. It's a volcanic belt of volcanoes and earthquakes. That ring of fire is over 40 kilometers long, all around the Pacific. Hope you enjoyed that little video. If you happen to be a local, And if you have any suggestions for future travelers in Camiguin, leave them down in the comments. Bye!